So I'm the last speaker of the last session of this particular track, and I believe the school education track is also over, so I can just see people coming in for hearing me. So advantage of being the last speaker, I mean, it has lots of advantage, and I can see that. A, the context is already set, the agenda is set, the deliberations have happened. We have actually debated on, we have talked about many challenges over and over again. So we are all prepared to a conclusive sort of discussion, which is the last session that is on technical education. And I thought perhaps it's better that I do some sort of summing up of what we discussed in the morning. I'll pick few threads from here and there, whatever little I understood of the distinguished panelists and the august audience that they shared their thoughts on. So I thought I'll bring everything together, and as you can see, I started stuttering. That means I'm also tired. So I'll not bore you with my presentation, and here we go. How do I do it? F5. So we have talked about opportunities, we have talked about challenges, we have talked about insights. I thought I'll only concentrate on the opportunities, because wherever there are challenges, the opportunities begin. So what I heard since morning was basically how we have challenges. The population is still illiterate. As you can see in the screen, the 25% of the population of India is still illiterate. 15% of Indian students actually go to the high school. Out of those 15%, only 7% is able to make it to the high school or graduate. We talked about, my very senior colleague, Lokesh from Microsoft, he talked about what are the wonderful opportunities that the government of India is presenting us with. The academic reforms, the policies are very progressive, and forward-looking initiatives are definitely have been floated also by the government, the state government also. And there is a huge attention from the private sector, as well as there is huge attention to draw the attention of private sector by the government. And how can we strike a balance between technical education and those of the social sciences, which are very important. We have engineers. I'm also from IT Delhi. We have engineers, but then how good the engineers are as individuals, that's very important. You're talking about a dam, some Tehri Garhwal dam. The dam there was a huge issue, but of course technological intervention was important there, but how, and there were people, there were livelihoods and whole lot of things. People, the inhabitants there, they were relocated from one place to the other. So there were sociological sort of factors that were very important, very crucial. So an engineer has to be a very good human being, as well as a very good, a very good citizen also, to understand the nitty-gritties of a particular, a given problem. I think Professor Laviraj has also sort of highlighted on those issues, on those aspects of how we can create a comprehensive and a very complete sort of graduate from a technical education, out of a technical education institution. So we have to create a sustainable model that are independent of the challenges that we have. So the challenges that we have, why not we take these challenges as assumptions and we start from there, so it will be much easier for us. So challenges are given. Now, how do we resolve? How do we address those challenges? Now, we also should have special education zones, and education can happen through distance mode. These are the few points that I kind of tried to pick from the discussions that we have since morning. And we also, someone also talked about, Kesh, I have been referring to your presentation, referring to your discussion and speech, predominantly. So 3 Qs he talked about: quality, quantity, and qualification. And then someone talked about how do we push the underprivileged economies up to the ladder. And Mr. Ponda also mentioned that we have to bring the have-nots to the realm of haves. So how do we do it? How do we build the nation? The Honorable Minister in the morning, he said that we have to have a system wherein we can actually build the nation. The nation can be built when we have adequate education system, which is founded on some ethical basis or framework, and also we have to have an inclusive education system. So this is the context, and then if you can just see the slide, if you can just look into the slide, there are 2942 degree granting engineering colleges in India with an annual student intake of this number. Polytechnics are there, and we are again the second largest producer of engineering talent in the world. There's a very low correlation between academic performance and industry expectations that is given. Again, I'll call it an assumption. So while approximately 3.5 lakhs engineering students graduate every year in our country, we are not able to optimize on the existing talent pool that we have. And again, NASSCOM report is anywhere referred to, or ENY report is referred to every time we talk about the employability scales or the knowledge and opportunity gap, what our higher education institutions are producing, and where are we lacking, and why industry is not ready to retain or absorb these graduates, this talent pool. Again, if you can just look into this, it's very text heavy, I can see that, but this is a last minute thing, and I thought you will be happy to read rather than listening to me. So where are we lacking? There are domain skills for sure. There are institutions, colleges, government is absolutely very excited and upfront, and I can just hear my co-panelists, very senior panelists, they have also encouraged us to join hands with them, and we can actually bring a complete individual, a complete knowledge force. We'll not call them workforce, they are knowledge force for us. So how do we do it? While the domain skills are very specific to a particular domain, can we give them something else other than the domain skills for them to remain retained in a particular organization for some time? And that will definitely help, that it will have its own ripple effect, it will have its own sort of advantages to the organization, to the state, to the country at large. So how do we do it? And then these are all triggering points for you to have thoughts around it, because we have talked about all these points, all these concerns. The government of India, as well as the state governments, we have a huge focus now on building the skill development and the vocational education of the country. And as we have seen that they have also identified few sectors, again it's in the second slide I guess. So the population is actually, it's not a challenge for us, it's rather an advantage. We have the demographic dividend with us. So why not we actually make use of this advantage, this huge opportunity that we are sitting on. Again, if you can just see the slides, there are 75% of these jobs would require sector and skill-specific trained workforce. But in order for them to, again, as I have already mentioned, in order for them to be retained by the industry, what else can we offer? And there, I think we come in. We have talked about the broader visions. We have talked about the specific challenges. But then how do we do it? There are loads of pilots that have happened, but how do we actually make it happen? That's very important. So these are the few proposed solutions that I thought before I start my presentation, my very corporate presentation that I have. So where we actually can make a difference. We can actually have, the curriculum is already pre-structured. Why not we, as Sir has already mentioned, why not we start doing it right at the entry level when they actually have taken admission in a college or in an institution or in the university. Sir, as you have mentioned here, I thought I would just point it down, take it down, that industry to be ready to accept the naive entry-level students. Why not we create students who are no longer naive at the entry level, right, when they graduate from your institution or any institution, why not we create the knowledge force such that they are no longer naive, and industry is all the more happy. While you have this adoption program going on, why not we work together? So it's like we have to just take one step behind, we have to think from there, and we can work it together, and that's where I thought industry at large can come to the help of the government institutions or the institutions at large. Again, in the morning, someone, I think the minister only said, no, the Secretary IT, he mentioned that government is not helpless. Of course, government is not helpless. They're doing a wonderful job. It's our responsibility as citizen of India, as the country person, as the country people, that we should work hand in hand together so that wherever there's a gap, we can bridge that gap, and we can call ourselves a nation, and we are not a developing economy anymore. We are a nation aspiring to be a developed one. Having said that, since the slides are, I have so many ideas and slides are already very written and structured, so I'm not able to do it. So one more point that I really wanted to highlight was vertical mobility and horizontal mobility. So when by vertical mobility, I understand we have ITIs, we have technical education institutions, we have engineering colleges. Why not we have some sort of system wherein the ITI, the students graduating from ITI, and if you ask the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India, they say that they have some plans, but so I have not seen these plans in execution. So why not we have students who are graduating from ITIs go over and get admission in one of the engineering colleges and they get a degree there. It becomes easier. We are talking about moving them up to the ladder. So have-nots come to the ladder of haves, and then from there we start building. Of course, we cannot be very ambitious, but at least we can make some difference to this lot. Having said that, accreditation has already been talked about, and there's nothing much here for me. So I'll just take you over to a very small presentation. So what we do and where we can actually kind of come and help the existing agenda of the government, and we can build the agenda together. So it's basically knowledge and opportunity. So while you are producing a knowledge force here, there's a gap between knowledge and opportunity. Opportunity is lying there, industry is there, knowledge is here. And how do we build it together? So that's where I think a company like us companies like us have important, very crucial role to play. So how do we do it? The domain skills are very specific, they are important, but can we have some sort of generic skills and which are transferable? So the skills that I learn on job, can we just have a training around that? I should learn to negotiate, I should have the leadership qualities, I should also be able to understand the stress that the workforce, that the work environment offers. So why not I'm prepared, right, at the engineering level itself, for me to be able to take the world and to understand the work kind of work environment differently. And not it. So this is it. What do we require? By 2015, we'll need 6 lakh leaders, 80 lakh skilled job-ready managers. And what are they looking for? Rather, what are we looking for? We are looking for domain skills which are definitely there, available. And the sad part is basically we are trained in our language, in our own regional language, state language, but when we go to the industry or when we are sort of applying for our jobs, English becomes the language, and that becomes the global language also. All of us, we aspire from village, we aspire to go to the town nearest to our villages, and there to the city A, city C, city B, city A, and then abroad. So what remains? Where the challenge remains? First, English remains the challenge there. So why not we also have some sort of intervention at that level itself? And most importantly, employability skills. And in our courses that we do during our graduation time, why not we build, I have so many ideas actually, so why not we build these skills in our courses itself? Engineering B in electrical, can we have some employable skills at that level in the semester 1 itself for us to get a better understanding instead of giving it as an add-on? That's something where I think we have to work. Yeah. So what is this employability skills? Non-technical, and can all of you just read the slides there, because I'm like running out of time, I guess. So it actually brings a positive shift, enabling people to perform better at work and in their personal lives, to boost performance and sustainability. And it also stretches beyond comfort zones in order to become influential leaders in the industry. And this will not happen in one day. So there has to be a very strategic and very thought out process. The gap analysis has been, so we have done a gap analysis, and but I'm saying that we are a company with, that can provide, that can work in the space of English language or employability skills. So we are not a company that has just come on one fine day, we decided that we'll do something and we'll just give it to the people. No, we have done a proper, thorough research. We have done loads of pilot, we have done research outside, abroad. We have got the knowledge from there, and we have created the solution, the content, the knowledge information here, and we try to give it back to our people, our country. So here we are providing integrated solution for English and employability skills for the entire college term, for the engineering colleges, for the management colleges. That's about it. So Lokesh, you said quality, quantity, and qualification. Quality and qualification has a correlation, and we are talking about numbers, we are talking about quantity. 3 Qs can be since our target group remains an engineering student, a graduate engineering, to be engineering graduate student in a rural setup, we are conscious of the fact that they are the people who, they would not be able to afford the sophisticated solutions. That's where we think that our solutions should be, our offerings should be absolutely cost effective and highly scalable. Because in India, nothing works because the number is a huge challenge, and that's where we thought, why not we do it? I think there's some problem with the slides here. I wanted to show you an interesting 4Q framework that we have worked on, and I really wanted to relate it with the 3Q components that you talked about, but I guess it's missing somewhere. I don't know if someone can be of help to me. Yes. Please bear with me, just one slide that I really wanted to show. What is that?
There's,
4Q framework was there.
it's not in here.
Okay. I think that slide, no, okay. Please kindly bear with us. They're reading it off. They're reading it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last slide, sir. Kindly bear with me. This is the last slide. So when we are talking about this 3Q, quality, quantity, qualification, and we have very much taken care of these 3 Qs, these 3Q components which are absolutely embedded in this framework. And this framework is, as I have told you, the challenges that we have taken those challenges as assumption. We see an ideal classroom where there is no infrastructure, there is no facilitator, there is no facilitation, it's only students. And perhaps there may not be teachers also. And that's where 4Q learning, with its complete solution, the usable technology, the training support, the on-site facilitation, and of course an effective feedback, that's where we are lacking in today's time. So this is the 4Q framework that we have created, and it's not just done in one day. It's a thorough research on which, it's founded on a thorough research that we did. And how do we do it? We have case studies, we have success stories, and it is working well as far as providing the functional English or the employability skills that we think that we are good at, and it's working fine with us. I'm sorry if I've just messed it up with the presentation. Thank you.